horrible disease. The Miami affiliate is so lucky, so blessed to have him. Please welcome your fellow walker, Robert Glazier. Let him hear y'all. Let him hear ya.
I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in June 2013. I eventually had a Whipple operation to remove the tumor, but in August 2014, 4 months after the operation, my cancer returned and it had spread to other parts of my body. I had metastatic pancreatic cancer, stage 4. Without treatment, half the people who have metastatic pancreatic cancer die within 5 months. I decided to start harsh chemotherapy. I was told that with the chemotherapy, half the people die within 11 months. Well, it's now 18 months later, and I'm still here. I'm still here, and my scans show no signs of the disease. I've done so well that about 5 months ago, I moved to a lighter maintenance chemotherapy. My cancer marker has gone up a bit. I'm not saying that I'm cured, but there are still no signs of the disease. My quality of life is not perfect. Today, because of neuropathy in my feet, I'll be watching you stride rather than striding myself. But my quality of life is good. I've continued to live life, even though I have metastatic pancreatic cancer. I've traveled, I've planned for my family's future, I've enjoyed life. Now, there's one thing that I've done over the last year that I'm especially proud of. When I was diagnosed back in 2013, I was told that there were no groups for pancreatic cancer survivors because people didn't live long enough for there to be a group. By last summer, I knew that was wrong. I was proof that that was wrong. So I created a group with some other people called the Pancreatic Cancer Group of South Florida. Many of the people you saw today are part of that group. Long-term pancreatic cancer survivors get together every 2 months. We talk about our stories, we talk about our experiences, we hear from medical experts, we celebrate victories, and we mourn losses. We've become a community. We have about 14 local survivors who have attended our meetings, often with family. Some of us were diagnosed 2 years ago. Some of us were diagnosed 10 years ago. Now, one of the most important things that we survivors can do is to speak. Until recent years, people haven't spoken much about cancer. When I was a child, people didn't even want to say the word. They would say of somebody, he has CA. My own brother was very sick when I was 10, 11 years old. People would ask me, how's he doing? I would say, okay. I said okay because I really didn't know. I was told he had cancer only 2 days before he died. And people have been particularly hesitant to talk about pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer, as you've heard, is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States. Only lung and colon cancers take more lives. So why do we hear so little about pancreatic cancer, but so much about other cancers, such as breast cancer? Well, one reason is that people don't know really what a pancreas is. We know what a breast is. We know, generally speaking, what a colon is. but a pancreas is hidden away in the middle of the body, and we really don't know what it is. Another reason people may not talk about pancreatic cancer is that they're embarrassed to be stricken by a cancer of the digestive system. We don't like to talk about those kinds of things. But the main reason we don't hear more about pancreatic cancer is that there's so few survivors around to tell their stories. We lose people so quickly. And those who live a while tend not to talk about it. Maybe they're too shocked by the diagnosis and the realization that they likely have little time left. Often they're from the older generation, less willing to talk about cancer in general. Again, I personally know that people don't like to talk about pancreatic cancer. Only after I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer did I learn that my own grandfather had died of the disease. But things are changing. There was a wise woman named Margaret Mead. She said some words that have become famous. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. People are now working to change the world. In the past 6 weeks, there's been more publicity about pancreatic cancer than ever before. First, we learned that Alan Rickman, the actor, had died of pancreatic cancer. Then a member of the House of Representatives told his colleagues in Washington that he had pancreatic cancer. 2 weeks ago, a leading scientist at NASA wrote in the New York Times that he's been diagnosed with a disease. A week and a half ago, Pat Conroy, the author of Prince of Tides, revealed his diagnosis. And this past Sunday's New York Times included a column by the writer Joyce Maynard discussing her husband's Whipple surgery for pancreatic cancer. People are more willing to speak about pancreatic cancer. This is going to lead to greater awareness and earlier detection. And it's going to, and this is crucial, lead to more money for research. Scientists now are making progress so that pancreatic cancer will be a chronic illness rather than the death sentence it has been. Margaret Mead was right. A small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Let us remember the words of Margaret Mead, who herself died of pancreatic cancer. You, by your efforts today, are helping to change the world. On behalf of those now touched by pancreatic cancer, and on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of families who will soon face the disease, I thank you.
Thank you, Robert. You're such an inspiration to all of us, and we are that committed community. I hope each of you has one